Now it's time for our weekly energy update with Dan McTeague, president of Canadians for Affordable Energy. Take it away, Dan.
Well, hello, Teresa. It's another interesting week on the energy front, and this time it's not about affordable energy. It's actually about energy that's becoming less and less expensive. But of course, it isn't for all the reasons we want. One, the temporary reprieve on carbon taxes by the Carney government until the election is really meant as an election trick or a ploy. We have every expectation that they will reapply that 20 cents a liter that you saved earlier this week. And not only that, they'll continue increasing that 20 cents, which is $80 a ton, up to about $170 a ton, which will be about 45 cents. They'll call it an industrial carbon tax, which will come at the perfect time, which a lot of industry is starting to reel. We see numbers, of course, on unemployment and investments have dropped. Our Canadian dollar continues to be very weak. But this week, we're also seeing the effect of those who prognosticate for the long term that the price decreases that we've seen this week may actually be accelerated by the fact that there is concern about a global recession, sparked in part by the tariffs, but also, as I mentioned earlier, Canada's rather abysmal jobs record and deep-seated economic problems that have been going on for several years, and that was evidenced by StatsCan and the labor report showing 33,000 net lost jobs in Canada, pushing up our unemployment rate. But I digress. What it means, though, for the next week is that we could see a net decrease between now and, say, Sunday of about 13 cents a liter right across the country. That, of course, means that in places like Toronto, we'll go back to prices we haven't seen since the middle part of April 2021, so 4 years ago. And what I'm seeing right across Canada is a 10-cent net decrease Saturday, a 3 to 5 cent decrease on Sunday, and nothing happened until Wednesday. But it's clear the markets are very nervous. So what does that mean? Well, Vancouver, which saw prices move back up to the 188 range, 187 could be back down to $1.73. Victoria, just a little behind that at $1.71, $1.72. What that also means, Alberta, 138 down to 132. That would be Edmonton and Calgary. Same thing for Regina, Saskatoon, and Saskatchewan. Prices moving down to about $1.30. Winnipeg down to $1.27, $1.28, while Ontario sees a decrease of about 13 cents a liter, bringing us a lot closer to high prices of only $1.25, maybe $1.28 at the most. And for Quebec, always 10 to 12 cents a liter, plus the the carbon tax that they continue to have in that province exceptionally. They should be in the $1.54, $1.53 range, a full 25 cents a liter above Ontario, and neighboring provinces to the Atlantic won't see much. That's only because unless they use their what's referred to as their interrupter clauses, meaning that the government will suddenly intervene when there's a price difference of 5 or 6 cents a liter, they may very well be stuck with paying a higher price until Friday of next week. In the unlikelihood that they do change that, that would mean a decrease of about 10 cents a liter, which they certainly deserve. It does speak to the point I've made for many years. I mean, having regulated prices in Canada is an absolute absurdity. It does not protect consumers. It actually hurts consumers. And you're going to see that in the Maritimes. When Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, Edmonton, Calgary, Regina, and Winnipeg wake up to much lower prices for consumers tomorrow, in the Maritimes, they're going to have to continue to pay for it. So if you think it's like a little security blanket that looks after you, think again. Gas price prediction has been around for 30 years. I know, I predicted it, and I pioneered it. And so for that reason, many others can do that. It's an open, transparent market. And to have a couple of bureaucrats trying to synthesize what a real market looks like is a disservice to consumers in general. And I would say even further, as someone who spent 18 years in politics, it's a crying shame and a disgrace that politicians stand behind a group of bureaucrats trying to pretend that they can make up pricing when, in fact, the market does a pretty damn good job at that. Of course, I'll get off my rant and talk about the Canadian dollar, which some were exuberantly thinking would pick up steam. It's actually starting to lose steam again, back to 142, 143 pennies to buy a US dollar. That really means for most Canadians an additional 25 to 26 cents a liter to the price of gasoline. So all of these things are starting to combine to make a bad situation much worse in Canada. And while I think we all welcome the idea of lower prices for fuel, the context is no jobs means you don't have the money to buy fuel to begin with. And it does suggest that we may be heading in for significant economic straits. Not that we could avoid what is in the mind of the Donald Trumps of this world, but most importantly, Canada is Donald Trump is a symptom of a bigger problem of economic malaise that this country has voted for and cheerfully supported over the past 10 years and may very well make the same mistake on April the 28th. If that's the case, Teresa, I think we're looking at 4 years of absolute economic decline and misery for a lot of Canadians. I think people have to really smarten up because energy teaches us very much. A country that's blessed with energy, we shouldn't be paying high prices to begin with, and we should be able to get our natural gas, our oil, our gasoline, our diesel, and other products to the global markets, not just the United States. Nevertheless, that's for politicians of this generation, and I hope Canadians really do smarten up, because this isn't about socks, sobbing, or selfies. It's about your bottom line, your ability to make ends meet, jobs for yourself, your future, your pensions, your social programs, that of your children, and now, of course, your grandchildren. Anyways, that's it for this week. I just wanted to sort of bring people up to speed. Gas prices are falling throughout the week, and I expect by the time we get back to this time next week, we could see yet another 5 to 7 cents drop on top of the 13 that we're going to see between now and Sunday. So if you need fuel, hold off, buy only a little bit, and the longer we wait, the more likely the price will continue to drop until April 15th, when we see the switch over from winter to summer gasoline.